a $2,400 increase plus $1,200 ongoing monthly checks specifically focused on the low income and, of course, fixed income beneficiaries of Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, and RRB. I'm going to be discussing both of these here in this video because these are both very viable options right now as far as what's currently going on, and as of recently, we've seen the $2,400 increase, otherwise known as the $200 per month raise, being brought up a number of times by a variety of lawmakers, new bills, packages, and proposals, including the $2,400 increase on an annualized basis for all Social Security beneficiaries, as well as this one-off $1,200 ongoing monthly check situation that we've heard about for quite a while now. And again, all of this being a very viable option with what's going on right now, especially with what we're seeing develop across the entire economy. We've seen a lot of things happening right now and a lot of major changes out of Social Security. I want to share with you what's going on here with all of these, as well as what's going on with this. In other words, could we potentially be getting both of these at the same time? Well, that's a pretty easy answer right there, which I will give you here in this video, as well as let me just share with you exactly what's going on in regards to all this talk out there in regards to changing Social Security, raising monthly benefit checks, and again, implementing a potential $2,400 increase across the board for all beneficiaries. Now, we've seen this popping up a number of times here over the last couple of years, and this year, 2025, already, we've seen multiple different introductions of the $2,400 increase or the $200 per month increase to monthly benefits for all Social Security beneficiaries. Now, remember, you've heard me talk about this recently in other videos and in live streams, which is some lawmakers want to implement the $200 per month increase as an emergency inflation relief for the rest of this year, 2025, right? So that is out there as well. Now, we've also seen it reintroduced out of Bernie Sanders as the Social Security Expansion Act, again, changing Social Security in a massive way, and also implementing the $200 per month increase, or again, $2,400 for the entire year. That'd be really good. And then, by the way, that would also be indefinite. In other words, forever, or at least for the next 75 years, with the proposal out of Bernie Sanders. Okay, now we've talked about that before in other dedicated videos. And again, I think you probably know where we stand on all that. Again, I've made it pretty clear, but we can certainly come back to that again. And if you want me to come back in another video in a dedicated live stream, I can certainly do that. However, let's quickly talk about the $1,200 on a monthly basis as well. This is super interesting. Now, maybe you've seen some of my videos out recently, and again, basically every single live stream that comes up, I get questions about stimulus. When are we going to get it? Who's going to get it? How much is it going to be? How much are we going to get? When are we going to receive it? You know, all these different questions like this. Now, this $1,200 on a monthly basis, this is a little bit different. Now, I want to be 100% fair with you. Both of these have not been passed yet. I think you probably know that, but again, just want to make that very clear so there's no misunderstanding about this. But with both of these that are out there right now, what's interesting about the $1,200 on a monthly basis, now this was introduced a couple years ago, but every so often it does come up again. Now, this was introduced as the Support Act, and what this would want to do is establish a guaranteed basic income program across the entire country, essentially for all people within the thresholds that would make them eligible to receive this based on their income. Now, somebody that's low income or fixed income would definitely fall within the parameters, simply because the parameters are, as they originally introduced it, with the Support Act, of $75,000 a year as an individual or $150,000 a year as a married couple, is how they originally introduced that. Now, what the interesting part about this, do you think the last couple years have maybe been a little bit disruptive when it comes down to the implementation of technology, sophisticated computers, automation, AI, things like this? It's really advanced a lot in the last several years here. I think we all recognize that. It has changed massively just in the last handful of years. With AI taking over all kinds of different things, that's exactly where this comes in and why they want to implement this nationwide guaranteed basic income program, which would essentially be there so that when things really get, disrupted in a massive way, even more than they already have, by technology and AI and automation and things like that, that people basically have essentially an income floor that they can fall back on and essentially have this guaranteed basic income program established that's there. Now, the interesting part again is that we have, again, just kind of looping back here for a second, when it comes down to the $2,400 on an annualized basis or the $200 per month raise. Okay, it depends on which piece of legislation you look at, which proposal, which idea it is that you're looking at out there, whether it's the Social Security Expansion Act or whether it's the most recent one that we heard about as well that I've talked about, the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act. Both of those implement a $200 per month raise to benefits, which, by the way, they have not passed yet, just being 100% fair with you. But the interesting part about those is that those would increase benefits, but at the same time, beneficiaries would also still be well below the thresholds in which would make them eligible to receive any type of guaranteed basic income program, especially with this $1,200 on a monthly basis from the Support Act, again, because their income in general, most people, by the way, anyway, would be below $75,000 a year as an individual or $150,000 a year as a married couple is what it comes down to. Okay, but basically what it comes down to is that I think a lot of these lawmakers, and based on what we're clearly seeing out of them, they're recognizing just as much as we do that, hey, maybe they're figuring it out that people living on a fixed income, people that are low income, seniors, people with disabilities are really struggling right now when it comes down to the current economic state, what's happening here over the last several years, the massive inflation, and even just the price disruption that we've seen, the last several years here. We've seen a lot of disruption, and these benefits, unfortunately, are not keeping up at all with what's going on in the real economy and the real cost of living, even though the COLA that we've been receiving over the last several years, not to digress too much here in this video, but has been pathetic, right? 3.2%, 2.5%, yeah, very far from what we really need it to be. And then obviously the projections right now for 2026 being, significantly lower as well. Yeah, not a good situation. But anyway, long story short here is that we have multiple different proposals that are out there, multiple different lawmakers that continuously come forward and suggest, hey, let's implement a $200 per month raise, a $2,400 per year increase to monthly benefits. Let's establish a guaranteed basic income program on the national level. Now, right now, to be fair, there's a bunch of guaranteed basic income programs that have already been established on the state level, the county level, the city level, the small local level. There's a bunch of these guaranteed basic income programs that are currently in effect as of right now, or have been over the last, call it 3, 4, 5 years or so. There's been about 150 of these in total that have been implemented. Well, they're finally recognizing that, hey, we need to set the groundwork in place now and basically set that up now so that when the time is there and the time that we need to push the button on this and really get these checks distributed to people, that all that infrastructure is already there and that they already have it implemented and that it's ready to be deployed at whenever they want it to be, versus just sitting here and waiting, and then it's like, wait, we actually need that to be implemented right away for the beneficiaries and the people that actually need this. So it's cool to see that lawmakers are actually thinking about this, that they're talking about it. They're possibly trying to be a little bit proactive about it. Not doing a very good job, being real with you, with what they're talking about, what they're implementing very, very slowly. Not happening yet, but right now it's nice, the conversation and how it's going with this. And remember, lawmakers have this ability to continue doing these reconciliation bills, right? We've talked about this. They have the ability to add any of this, if they want to, into any of these reconciliation bills. It's kind of encouraging with what's happening, even though with the current economic state out there, I just want to say this. You probably heard me talk about this before in other videos. In live streams, I've talked about this. With the current economic situation that we're in right now, it's not looking that great, right? I think we've made that very, very clear before in other videos. The economic situation that we're in is not looking all that great, and we're not that far off from a major crash and burn. And when that happens, what happens every single time? That's when we see the starting of all these different programs. Stimulus gets provided, guaranteed basic income programs come out of nowhere. They do all of these different things. The enhanced unemployment benefits, the enhanced child tax credit payments, the discussion of adult checks being distributed, again, which could also go hand in hand with the distribution of guaranteed basic income. Yeah, interesting, right? Quick side note, by the way. If they were to implement both of these, by the way, this $2,400 or the ongoing $1,200 monthly payments in the form of a guaranteed basic income program, the really cool part about that, the vast majority of fixed income beneficiaries would be eligible for both of them. If they were to do both of them simultaneously, you could easily take advantage of both of them. Right now, again, I've said this a few times, just want to say this again really quickly, just so we're on the same page here, just to elaborate. They have not been passed yet, but lawmakers are talking about them, and we know how lawmakers go, right? They could talk for 3 weeks, they could talk for 3 months, or they could talk for 3 or 30 years, right? It's kind of how it goes. Anyway, just want to point this out for you really quickly. I know it feels like I'm all over the place here in this video, but there's just a lot of talk, there's a lot of discussion, a lot of bills, packages, and proposals. And again, I will keep an eye on everything very closely. And if we see anything passing or getting remotely closing to passing, anything like that, obviously, I'll bring that to your attention, but I want you to know what's going on and what they're discussing and how things are likely going to be changing in a pretty big way here going forward, just based on the overall health of the economy and just based on what's going on with the economy, being the implementation of AI technologies, sophisticated computers, robotics, automation, things like that, right? Anyway, I hope this helps you to some degree. Also, if you want a little bit more certainty, a little bit more clarity with what's going on right now, as always, if you are turning 65, if you are enrolled in a Medicare supplement or Medigap plan, if you're retiring at all this year in 2025, anything like that, please call that phone number you see on your screen right there. It'll connect you with a dedicated Medicare team of trusted advisors. They will go to work immediately on your behalf, finding the best plan in the best pricing and the best coverages for you in your local area, so you can see the doctors you want, the providers you want to see, the networks you want to be within, the prescription needs if you have any at all. Again, if you're going through the initial enrollment into Medicare, or you're enrolling in Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplements, Medigap plans, Medicare Part D, whatever it happens to be, please call them. They will help you. They have access to over 20,000 plans across the country, and they will help you find the best plans in your local area, and it's all 100% for free. Please save yourself a massive headache. Give them a call. They will help you, and it's totally free. They've helped a ton of you here in this community already. And a lot of people are saving a ton of money, which is very, very, very exciting. I always like helping people save money in any way that I possibly can. Anyway, please give them a call. Again, write the phone number down, take a picture, take a screenshot, whatever you've got to do. Give them a call. They're waiting on standby right now to talk to you, and they will help you completely for free navigate Medicare, which can be very, very, very confusing. Otherwise, please, who do you know that's in the same situation? Turning 65, retiring, looking into Medicare initial enrollment, Medicare supplements, Medigap plans, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Part D, any of that, please call them right away. They will help you, even if it doesn't happen until later this year, and as far as you retiring or turning 65 or whatever it is, call them right away, establish that communication. They will help you, and you'll be in a really good position. Anyway, anybody else that you know going through that, please share this. Again, just think of a few people, 1, 2, or 3 people, friends, family members, neighbors, acquaintances, siblings, coworkers, anybody like that. Please share that phone number as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And again, they'll be super appreciative of you for sharing that information. You'll save them a huge headache as well. Otherwise, if you're new here, if you've not done so, please subscribe to the channel, 100% free. Big subscribe button down below. Check out the other thousands of videos here on the channel in the video library, or popping up on your screen here just a second, or down below in the description, I've hand-selected some very popular videos for you there. Check those out. Otherwise, until next time, thank you so much for watching. Please take care. I know it's a nuts time right now with a lot of things changing. I will keep you posted. Enjoy, have a good one, and I hope I can see you again soon in the next video or in the next live stream. Until then.